This episode of BRB UK is brought to you by our merch store at tpublic.com/stores/BRB and also Tabletop Tuesday at Loading Stoke Newington.
BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello and welcome to this here episode of BRB UK. Would you believe it is 900? No, it's not. It's 497. Failing at the hurdle, at the first hurdle. Go on as you mean to start, as you mean to go on. Wow, I can't say things. I am Coleman. Hi. Dan's been called off with an emergency, so I am jumping into the hot seat. And would you believe it? I'm back from having the coof. That deadly coof that has been going around for quite some time now. Yeah, it took, 4 different variations before it finally caught me, but it caught me.
They got
and I had to have a week off. Oh. Yeah. So I've got a feeling the mute button that I have here for when I'm recording and need to do things like pour a drink or cough, that might be used quite a bit today as I slowly wheeze and cough to myself at integral moments of the show. Tim, you're here.
I am.
And you're not going to jumble up metaphors and phrases and things like I'm doing today.
I don't know. I may well do. I may well have done even worse had I been thrown in at the last minute because, Dan kind of checked out at the last second, had an emergency to go deal with. And so, is not available this week at the last second. So Coleman literally got no time to prepare for the fact that he had to do that long hello. And that takes some warming up and some vocal exercises. So that probably put him off the rest of the words in the center. I'll give you that excuse.
I'll let you into it behind the scenes, Tim. It's because I can't yell hello properly like I usually do. So I had to kind of improvise a new way of doing it that doesn't make my lungs itch. So that's fun. Hey, let's talk about some video games that we've been playing, because you were talking last week, Tim, about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which has recently come to Xbox Game Pass, as well as being released on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch and PC. And Dan's been playing it, you've been playing it, and would you believe, during my COVID-ridden state, I have also been playing it. Ooh. And boy howdy, that is a fun game, can confirm. Been leveling up my Donatello. I've been enjoying the heck out of that. Been doing some 6-player madness over the internet.
I haven't tried the 6-player yet. I did play a bit of Leonardo, but the 6-player, is it entirely too hectic, or is it still good fun? Like, can you tell what's going on half the time?
I think if you're not playing as a turtle, it would probably be easier because there's a lot of green going around on the screen. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It gets rid of the enemies a lot quicker, and there always seems to be a moment where you can do a double team move because it just constantly prompts are popping up all the time when you've got so many people all going at it at once. And yeah, that was fun. I had a bit of a weird moment where initially when I started, I thought I'm just going to jump straight into the 6-player multiplayer. And I did. And every time I loaded into a level, there would be invisible characters and all the bad guys around me would be just throwing themselves around the screen because they're getting beaten up by invisible people. And that happened a couple of times. So I had to leave it a week. Yeah, it was cool. It wasn't great for me because it meant I couldn't really see what I was doing. So I left it a week and came back and tried the multiplayer that way and had a lot more fun, a lot better results that way. So a little bit buggy to begin with, but got there in the end. And I can confirm, very fun game. I do like that it's in the 90s cartoon aesthetic, but it throws in all these different references to Turtles media, like not just the cartoons, the comics. It's got Krang and Razor from Turtles 2, Super Shredder from Secret Use, like all that stuff. I had a great moment. I was like, wow, the movies are realized in cartoon form. I love this. I wish they'd do that on the in the old 90s cartoon style, like make the TV show in the movies and all that kind of stuff.
There's one thing that I thought it was very referential to the old school graphics, but a little bit to its detriment. There's one thing I didn't talk about last week, but I almost wish that they'd done a bit more of the graphical stylings of Streets of Rage 4 when it was kind of a bit more like heavy black lines around the artwork type of thing, rather than going for the old 16-bit looking graphics almost kind of thing. I don't know.
See, I much preferred the pixel art style to the Streets of Rage style. And I mean, the Streets of Rage game, it looks great, but I think that I wish they would have leaned more heavily into the style of the arcade machines where they do things. I know you can like throw a foot soldier and it will hit the screen and the face will hit and slide down slowly and all that kind of stuff. I love that thing that's in the Konami beat 'em up side scrolling arcade machines where in particular they'll take a pixel some kind of pixel image and they'll spin it around and blow it up, throw it at the screen, and it will look like crap for a moment because these blown up pixels. I love that nostalgic feeling of seeing that stuff and just the limitations at work. Whereas they've kind of done what they did with Shovel Knight and many other modern retro style games where they've gone, this looks and feels like it belongs in the decade where it's influenced by. However, it's heavily leaning on the technology of today because this would not be possible running in this way.
Yeah, in Streets of Rage 4, I kind of preferred the approach they did with a slightly more updated graphical style that still had a kind of almost a comic effect leaning type of thing, but then they also gave you the character art that was in 8-bit style as well. So I kind of wish they'd done a similar thing with Turtles and had the style that they lean on there, and then you can unlock the other characters in that 8-bit style, because that would give you a bit more to unlock in the game as well, which is my other slight criticism of it in endgame sort of stuff.
I think there is a kind of a cynical view of looking at it. I think there's a kind of added bonus of going for this style with this specific game that you could potentially trick people that kind of just flirt around with video games when they see this and go, oh my God, it's the arcade game I used to play as a child. Yeah, and then you pick it up and go, oh, wait, no, this is different, but it's still cool. I love it.
Yeah.
A couple of corrections from the last week. Okay. One is that you failed to say the phrase Streets of Rage for the New Age, as we are contractually have to do with any kind of beat-em-up side-scrolling arcade fighter.
Right.
The other one is Tribute Games, who developed this game. What did they make previously?
I thought they made Streets of Rage 4, no?
No, and you've been told this several times on the show.
Right, okay.
No, they didn't.
Right.
They made the Scott Pilgrim game.
Publisher, isn't it? Right, okay.
Yeah, same publisher, different developer. It's the same developer as Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember I was listening back to the episode, then I heard you say that, and I went, God damn it, Tim. I've told you this. Lafar's told you this. So I made a mental note.
Whoops.
Must correct Tim.
I think it's an easy mistake to make. Same publisher. They got the same publisher and slightly different developers, but similar enough games that you kind of conflate them together, basically. But anyway, look, enough making excuses for me. I say there's some criticisms of the game, but I'm still loving it. I haven't played as much this week because I played a couple of new things, which we'll come on to later in the show.
Same.
But yeah, it's still a really good game. I still want to play more of it. It's definitely going to be a go-to game when people come around my house and we want to play something 4-player. I don't think I have the pads to play more than 4-player on one console. And I don't know how many pads actually assigned to an Xbox Series S either. I'm not sure if there's a limit on that, but
I think it's 4.
Yeah, so might be restricted to 4-player, but
I think the game mode is 4-player local, 6-player online.
Right.
However, I think you can take local players online with you,
right,
to join in with others.
More players.
And I think it's also 6-player on the Switch. I might have that wrong, but I think that's right. Anywho, right, you wanted to quickly touch on something that you've been waiting to play, and it's popped up on your new sexy PlayStation Plus tiers.
Yes. So as discussed last week, I got the extra thing, and for anyone that didn't listen last week, there's 3 levels to PlayStation Plus now. If you're not aware, there is Essential, which is the kind of base thing that was existing before, Extra, which I'm on, and Dan went for the premium version because of course he did.
There's Diet Pepsi, Pepsi, and Pepsi Max.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. Dan's on Pepsi Max Plus, and I'm on just normal Pepsi. But yeah, so
I'm on diet.
So what did you go with?
Oh, I stuck with the normal
Essential
one. I was looking at tiers today, but I'm unsure whether I want to go for which version I want to go for. I might go for the medium one like you. I like the idea of going for PlayStation Classics. I don't think I'd get much use out of the cloud streaming because my home internet is not great for cloud streaming, it turns out. So I don't know. I don't know if classics are enough to warrant the extra money.
I figured for the extra £4 a month, I can probably afford to buy a classic game every month, and I'm probably never going to play more than that anyway. So that was kind of my maths on the situation.
Also, I'd literally be upgrading for Returnal because I looked through the games that are available to play, and apart from your odd NHL and all those kind of things that I don't really care about, I own everything apart from Returnal.
That's because you buy everything, but yeah, I mean,
I like games,
but I think that does actually speak to the fact that as much as we took the mickey out of the fact that the 3 tiers does make it confusing, there's an argument there that we've just proven there is an in real life actual case to be made for the fact that there are use cases across the 3 different tiers, because we've all taken a different tier basically. And yeah, so as part of the extra thing, and I think it got more value to me because there's the 2 South Park games which I really liked but never owned because I played them while I was renting stuff. So that gives me access to both of those games, and playing through them again I'll be quite happy to do at some point. It gives me access to a load of the Ubisoft stuff, which I don't have, which I think you've bought more of. Although I've noticed the big problem with that is, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a commitment anyway, because it's a commitment if I'm going to play as much of it as I would need to warrant downloading the 123 gigs that game takes up, basically.
I got that one for Christmas, and I got like the full complete package that doesn't include the Ragnarok expansion, because they went, hey, this was going to be DLC, now we're going to make it its own game.
Yeah.
I think that's out now. Anyway, yeah, I got the full package of that game. However, I will warn you, Tim, I'm going to save you from disappointment. Like, once the UK opens up and you can travel all over England, wherever you want to go, I have gone to the right points in the map, and I can confirm Gosport Portsmouth, not actually there.
I knew you were going to say that.
Isle of Wight, yes. Gosport Portsmouth, no.
Don't care. Like, most people don't know that Gosport and Portsmouth are there, Coleman.
I think there's like a Viking meaning to Gosport being Godsport. We have a longboat as our crest and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a Viking meaning to the naming of it, so it might just not exist yet. Haven't's there, though.
Okay.
Apparently Portsmouth is haven't. It's an insult. It's an insult, Tim.
You haven't got nothing.
You haven't got Portsmouth.
You haven't got Portsmouth. But yeah, like...
any historians that want to tell me like where I'm going wrong with this, go for it.
But yeah, I mean, it does mean that, there's a lot of space to be taken up. And that's the same with a few of the other bigger games on there that I haven't played. The other one, and that does add value to the extra range for me, is Red Dead Redemption 2, which I do intend to download and play at some point as well. For now, I downloaded Blasphemous, so I haven't played that yet. I downloaded a couple of South Parks. The one thing that I have played a bit this week, and that gave me value to this game, also a game is, Returnal. Let me just say that. I always kind of garble the beginning intro. But yeah, Returnal is a game that I very deliberately didn't buy for £70 because I am not entirely sure that I would get £70 worth of value out of the game, because I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't 100% sure just looking at it if I would like it or not. But it was also in the back of my mind that if PlayStation were to make I think I said this on the podcast, that if PlayStation were to make a like-for-like service, then this game is one that I expected to be on that service. Likewise, another game that I borrowed at launch from Mr. Lafar, but don't have a copy of myself, is Demon Souls as well. So that's another game that added some value to what I've got available.
Yeah, that's a game I got for Christmas, and I don't know if I'll ever get to it because of Elden Ring.
I mean, that's fair, but the new Demon Souls, I would say, actually probably looks nicer than Elden Ring does in a lot of places, basically. Elden Ring's got a style to it, but I think just in terms of like graphical fidelity, Demon Souls looks better. That's a game that I'll get value out of, but again, is a slightly reduced thing at the moment because I just feel guilty for cheating on Elden Ring with Demon Souls at the moment. But yeah. To come back to Returnal, I really like Returnal. Like, it's really good. It's definitely, like, I haven't had as much time as I would like to play games this week, so I haven't got as into it as I would have done otherwise. I really like it. It kind of got its hooked into me. I'll probably play a bit more tonight and a bit more over the weekend because I like what it's doing and I like the game loop. Anyone doesn't know, it's a rogue-like shoot 'em up, third person, shed in space on a planet where you keep on coming back to the crash site of where you crashed onto the planet every time you die. And you lose most of the upgrades and stuff that you get along the way. There are some permanent upgrades and there's some more permanent things that you can unlock that stay with you. But generally, most of the weapons and most of the upgrades that you have just completely go away when you die, which makes dying a pain in the ass. It's also got a kind of bullet hell element to it where you are dodging waves of incoming bullets, usually by just moving out the way or jumping over them. And yeah, there's a whole very arcadey system of kind of making sure that you don't get hit. So it gives you access, it gives you like bonuses and that stack as you go past more enemies. I think it's for every 3 enemies you kill, it increases that stack basically to a maximum of 5. And by that point, you've got, I don't think it adds to mobility particularly, but it kind of just gives you more damage and makes you a bit harder to kill, basically. I haven't got through the first level of that yet, so I'm still fairly early days, but just from what I've played, I'm enjoying that, and that is good. But I also think I made the entirely right decision to hold off until it was on this service, because I think if I'd have paid £70 for that game, I would not be as happy with my experience. But because I haven't invested that anywhere near that amount of money into it, I can happily go, that's a fun little video game. But I'm not sure it's £70 worth of video game from what I've seen. Like, obviously, there's a lot more to the game, and I need to play on to get through that. But
there's also co-op.
Yes, now that was a later addition to the game, but you already see like there's a big glowing orb right next to the kind of first level gate as you're going in, where you can do co-op stuff. So I'm definitely up to speed enough to possibly give that a go if someone wants to replay through the game or start from the beginning. Or if you do, Mr. Coleman, at some point, then let me know. But as you say, like the only way you might get access to that is if you go for Essential. But did you hear what I was saying last week with the thing that tempted me in is I only had 3 months left, so it was only £11.46 to upgrade for the 3 months. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go.
I mean, mine popped up for because I basically I've got the email saying, hey, you can upgrade and however much and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't really look into it until today. I was just having a browse about, and it said, so if I went for premium, it's for the rest of the year. So it'll go, hey, if you want to get the rest of the year, that's £24.93.
Yeah, so
if you want extra, then it's £16.95. I'm like, maybe I do want to get premium just to try it out, just buy like the rest of the year and see how we go from there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I get enough enjoyment out of PlayStation Classics. They don't have Evil Zone. They don't have Buster Groove 1 or 2. Those are my games. And nowhere has those games, to be fair. They don't play very well on modern day TVs and things, so I'm not sure how much enjoyment I would get from there. Tekken 2. I've played Tekken. I've done it. I've lived Tekken 2. I've done everything you can possibly do in Tekken 2. I did it as a child. I don't need to do it again.
It's not as good as Tekken 3 either, so hey.
Yeah, that's the thing. And as well, we tend to get like the PAL versions of Tekken 3, which I thought I was good at Tekken 3 until I played the NTSC version of Tekken 3 and realized that I've been playing it in slow motion my whole life. And then, my reactions became instantly worse.
Oh, that's not so good.
So, Returnal I recommend, but on the service, not paying £70.
Yeah, as I said, I wouldn't pay £70 for it. I reckon the only reason that they kept the price at £70 was so that it looks like it adds more value to this type of service. I'm not saying it's a bad game in any way, shape or form. I'm just not entirely sure it's the breadth and depth of a true AAA game in terms of the other things that it's going up against at £70, basically. I don't know if I can justify the £70 thing because we talked about more recently Gran Turismo 7 being a £70 release and having... And
definitely not worth it.
Yeah, well, but having the the extra microtransactions and stuff and that making that a very different value proposition. At least this is a complete game in the sense that, the whole game's in there. I think they added co-op for free. And yeah, like it's not lacking in that sense. And I'm not saying it's a bad video game. I'm just saying, for me personally, I don't think I would be as happy with my getting access to the game in the way that I have if I'd have paid £70 to get access to this game. But that, yeah, as I said, I am enjoying it, and it is good.
Good. I am happy for you and your enjoyment of Returnal. I will probably try that myself. But I'm kind of hung up on a game that I've been looking forward to playing, and I did not know I was going to enjoy it as much as I am, even though I was kind of marred by certain issues with the game at the start. But I've been waiting for, and I have finally gotten a hold of Naraka Bladepoint. This game came out to I don't know if it came out in China first and then the UK later, but I know it came out late last year. Initially exclusive to the Epic Game Store and then eventually to Steam. And I have been umming and ahhing over buying this game. They keep putting it on sale. I think it's like £25 for the game regularly, and then they put it down to 15. And I'm always iffy about buying a big game on the PC, because I never sit down to play a game on a PC. I'd much rather play that on on the PlayStation or the Xbox, and then get smaller games on the PC. I play a lot of point and clicks on PC. So when this popped up, I keep going, I really like the look of this, but I don't know. Maybe if I spot it one day, if £10, if it goes as low as £10, I'll pick it up on the PC. And then, if I don't like it, then I don't have to worry about it too much. If I have to play it at such a low fidelity that it annoys me, I'm not going to mind for £10. That's fine. Luckily, I didn't have to wait for that point, because they decided, hey, we're going to stick this on Game Pass. It's going to be available on Xbox. And I was like, I have one of those. I have a Game Pass subscription. I have an Xbox Series S. Let's get playing with some Naraka Bladepoint. And I'm glad I didn't pay actual money for this, because wow, this should be a free-to-play game with the amount of microtransactions they throw at you. Yeah, Ooh. And I've been playing a lot of Diablo Immortal. This one seems more upfront with their, hey, buy stuff when you log in. When you log in, the first thing you see is like 20 different adverts to buy things and premium packages and level passes and all this kind of stuff. However, I like the game, and I'll get to that. This is, if you don't know, this is a Battle Royale game, which so far I have yet to play a Battle Royale game. I have liked the concept. I always get into them, I always get my hands on one way too late when everyone else has already been way too good at the game. And I think, not really for me. Like PUBG had already been and gone by the time I finally got a hold of it. And when I thought, I'll finally play some Fortnite, it was kind of doing the rounds so much and being rammed down my throat that I got sick of it before I even...
Let's not pretend that.
I mean, there was that, but we had friends that were playing Fortnite constantly, and I thought, maybe I'll just jump in with that crowd. But by the time I'd finally installed it and gone, let me play some Fortnite, I was so sick of it before I've loaded it into the game and just have not been able to bring myself to hit start. So, yeah, that's the kind of level. I even installed Call of Duty War Zone because of the Godzilla Kong stuff, and I I'd load it up and go, I just don't fancy getting my ass kicked by people way better than me in a game that I'm going to lose again and again and again. And then there was that wrestling game that I've completely forgotten the name of that I was looking forward to, which is a battle royale game that got shelved. So anyway, this one, I love the look of this because it is a hack and slash, either single player or teams of three, again, on a server of up to 60 people. Ooh. And the idea is, much like many other battle royale games before it, you go into a big open world map, you go around, you collect weapons, resources, armor, whatever you need, and then you fight other people along the way. But all the time, there's like a big barrier. In this case, it's like a purple mist that surrounds the map. And after a certain amount of time, that mist will start closing in until there is less and less of the map, and you're fighting maybe not in the center, maybe off to the side slightly. It varies each time.
Okay. Do not go into the purple mist, Coleman.
No, because when you go into the purple mist, and you can't, it's not like an instant death if you go into the purple mist. If you get caught up in there, your shield will start slowly degrading, and then your health will start slowly decreasing, and then you will die.
Purple mist,
but
like
it does
yellow
take a while.
snow. If it's in that colour in combination with that word, don't trust it. It's not good. It won't do you any good.
Avoid the purple haze, as my parents used to warn me back in the old days. And may not have paid attention.
Are you sure that wasn't Eminem?
Yeah, it's
and Friends.
Maybe that too. It was This game is highly enjoyable. I'm constantly. I don't know. I only read today that you can do the 1 against 59 other people. I've not tried that. I didn't know that was an option. I don't know if you have to get to a certain level before you see it, or it's just not overly obvious that it's there to me. But I've been playing in teams of 3 each time
with randoms.
Sometimes to great success. Yeah, with randoms every time. I had a particularly enjoyable game where I was playing against 2 people that were playing together, and then I was kind of thrown into their team. But they were German speakers that spoke very little English. So, so much English too. They had a lot of words for. They had a lot of homophobic words to shout at me and call me by my gamer tag. So, but otherwise, just shouting random German words at me. Very funny. I enjoyed that. And they were pretty good at the game as well.
Just a quick question, Coleman.
Yeah, go on.
How offended should Dan and I be that this is a game with teams of 3, and you did not invite myself and Dan to come play?
Well, I was going in as I was the canary in the coal mine.
Right.
I wanted to go in first, get the feel for the game, decide if it's worth you getting. You especially, because it's Xbox Series S like me, and there are some limits to that, which I'll get to in a moment. But
because I've downloaded it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure if it was worth. Okay, cool. Oh well, if you downloaded it, then we might as well. But we should do a team of 3.
Yes.
I'm finding there's moments where I jump into the map and like either you're all separated and you're on the map you'll only see people in your team. Everyone else is completely random to you, unmarked. You don't know who's in a team with who. You don't know what's what. You're just fighting randomers. And sometimes people will go, oh, that's person on my team. I'll run towards them. In the lobby way, before you actually start the game, you can decide, oh, we're all going to land together. You can land in a place and they just go off and do their thing and then they're just dead. And you go, oh, I'm in a team on my own.
Oh.
That happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's a very enjoyable game. I've managed to win two of the games outright, which I've been very, very happy with. And both times it has been because we've literally 3 of us have stuck together and we just kind of hide away. And then one person comes out of the woodwork, just all gang around them, beat them up like with a shield in the WWE. That stuff's been very fun. It's good. It's what I've been missing in a battle royale to kind of throw me in there. It's a very, very Eastern influenced hack and slash game, which has been great. And also you have a roster of heroes that you get. I think there's 6 of them in the game initially, and then another 3 that you can buy through transactions. Doesn't really matter who you play with. They kind of got they've all got their different specials that you can power up and stuff along the way as you level up. So that's the only real difference to it. But you can customize them. They've got their own set costumes, but facial wise, skin color, hair, whatever you want to do, all that stuff is fair game. And yes, you can go through every single male character and make them bald with a beard, which has made me infinitely happy. All games should include this feature. I'm very much appreciative of that.
When you say it was hack and slash, and I should have prefaced this with I have a question if we're going to do this properly, but when you say hack and slash, I get the impression it's a bit more on the scale of, say, a Dynasty Warriors style combat more than, and that may be unfair because that's one against crowds of people a little bit, but that's kind of combat as opposed to a For Honor style kind of combat. Is that fair? I think you might be right there. It's more like a Muso game, but without the massive crowds that you're just plowing through. Yeah.
So if it was that, but all your opponents were as skilled as you, basically. There are a mixture between ranged weapons and close-up weapons. You tend to want to find a mix of the two. I tend to fully stay with just... because each time you use a weapon as well, say you shoot a gun or a cannon at someone, then the bullets or shells or whatever are going down each time. If you have a sword, you slash it, there's like an energy bar, an energy amount that will go down, and then you have to sit with, like, kind of like Monster Hunter, you have to sit with a whetstone and sharpen or repair your weapon to bring it up to full health again. Yeah, so there's a bit of that. There's a bit of, because if you run in with 3 people against 3 people and you take down 3 people successful,y and then one more person who jumps out of the woodwork, you go, oh damn, I can't use my weapon, so you need another one to switch to.
Right.
So I like to stick with just, I'll have dual swords. I like using dual swords, and then I'll have a pair of nunchuck with me as well.
Is that
so I can
swords
just whip
with
them out
jewels
if I
on,
need to.
or 2 swords
Dual swords
with jewels on?
Dual
nice shiny
swords.
little
No.
ruby sword. No,
mine. I do have quite a shiny ruby sword, but yes, it's a.
Too much information, Coleman. That's
It's
too
very
much
enjoyable.
information.
Thank you. The issue I had was initially loading it up on the Series S, there was a bit of getting used to, because I've seen this game, I've seen videos of this game, I have seen screenshots of this game, I've been very interested in this game. And then when I finally booted it up on the Series S, it kind of, like, to make it run properly, they've really, really decreased what the graphical fidelity of the game can be. And it is like someone smeared Vaseline all over the screen. It's very low poly to what it should be.
Oh.
In my spare time, like in my lunch break at work, I've been playing it on the Game Pass on the cloud on my phone.
Cloud.
And doing that on 5G, that plays at full display. So it's kind of weird when I go, yeah, I'm having great fun, but every now and then I might drop out of a game because Game Cloud got a Game Cloud. And then coming home and going, yes, I've got the more stable collection, and oh no, everything's kind of blurry around me.
Cool.
Yeah. Once you get used to that, though, it is still a very fun game, and one that I'm really enjoying with it. I don't know how long I'll stay with it, just because it's got that one hook, which is it's a battle royale game, unless they really drastically add to it in the way that
more
Fortnite
modes
does.
and stuff, basically.
There's not a massive amount of longevity to be had out of watch level numbers go up and unlock different weapon skins and things, for me personally. And also, I think if I was to stick with it and go, yeah, I want to level my character up to, I think they got to 160 now. If I want to hit that 160, there's definitely going to be a point where I just go, you know what? Those microtransactions on leveling up, they're looking kind of sweet. So if that starts setting in, I might just have to uninstall and move on. Also, I have a Series S, so the hard drive space is quite lacking. So I might just end up uninstalling anyway if something better comes around the corner that I want to play.
Yeah, I saw the first Series X that I've seen, like, actually in the flesh at Tabletop Tuesday while being at loading, and I was like, ooh, okay, that's the first one. I didn't realize it's been out for this long, but not going around other people's houses as much, I haven't actually seen one yet, sort of thing. So, yeah, like,
okay,
that was the first time I was like, ooh, do I want to upgrade to an X for the lounge and then move the S into my room, maybe?
I've been very tempted just to, and that's the mad thing as well. I've got this really nice TV that I never use. My girlfriend uses it for playing The Last of Us on, of all things. Yeah, playing a PlayStation 3 game on the big TV, and then I play everything on a 1080p monitor on my desk, which is like 24 inches. So I look at the Series X and go, yeah, I know, but I'm not going to use. It's just going to be pointless using it on my really naff monitor, and if I plug it into the TV, I'm never going to use it. And then I think, well, maybe I'll just get it. So the couple of games that aren't performing so well that they should be, maybe I could just play it on an X, and then the S can go in the corner of the room. And
there's two things.
I don't know.
There's two things that's influencing my thinking in either direction there as well. My Xbox One is sounding creaky. It's making some funny noises that I don't think. I think that's the like the last throws.
It's got COVID.
The last throws before death. It may have got it from you. What have you been doing with my Xbox, Coleman? But you know,
spitting in the disk drive.
but then, are you a tennis player? Anyway, but then, yeah.
Oh, you watched that too?
Yeah. But then the one thing that I was kind of also giving me pause for thought is there's a bit, I think I mentioned this before, there's a big like white dot where I think the sun used to hit my TV when I had curtains before, basically. And I don't know if you saw, but I think today they launched the fact that you can do the whole playing direct through the TV, and they said that is Samsung 2022 TVs, and we knew that before.
Yes.
But I saw in conversation them saying to someone that they plan to roll it out on earlier TV models, and they'll have more details on that in the future. So I don't know how far back.
Okay, because I was excited when I saw the headline just to see how it works. I'm fully convinced of the fact that cloud streaming just does not work until my entire area is upgraded on line speed and stuff. So I was like, this isn't going to work, but I'd like to look at the app just to kind of mess around with it. And then when I looked at the article, I was like, I've got a 2021 TV.
Yes, but I mean, if they're going to be rolling it out to anything, it'll be 2021 after 2022. And I think I bought my TV in 2020, but it might be a 2019 model if I'm remembering correctly. I can't remember.
It's usually the way.
Yeah.
Once they've knocked a couple of £100 off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I might be SOL on that one, but I have to see. I've got fingers crossed that it might go back as far as my TV, basically, and then that might mean that I move my S to the bedroom, maybe, and then don't end up buying an X. But
makes sense.
See. But then I might replace the TV in the bedroom and get the thing on that instead, basically. But yeah.
I mean, there is a Steam sale on at the moment, and there is cross-play, so I don't know, do I double dip and buy this game again and then just play it on PC?
No, because then you can't... Well, is there cross-play?
Yeah, there's cross-play.
Okay, so that doesn't matter too much either way. But I was going to say, I will be up for playing some of this at some point, so I'll definitely... As I said, I downloaded it with the purpose of doing so...
We will get down in on this, and we'll have to have our team of 3 and give it an hour or something.
See how badly we can do.
3 games.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do some more Sea of Thieves as well, but I load it up and I can never get anyone to play with.
Oh. I will play. Yeah. I know there was some other people that I was speaking to the other day that were getting a game of that together as well. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I do get an X.
This week's podcast is brought to you by Dan's Face. Dan's Face on a t-shirt, that is, which you can acquire yourself at our merchandise store, which is tpublic.com/stores/BRB. You can get Dan's face on a t-shirt saying, eating my dust. You can get Dan's face on a mug. You can have a mug on a mug. Oh, his mug. I'm not saying he is a mug, but you can have his mug on a mug. And stickers and a variety of other things as well. This t-shirt that you might be able to see in the video version is Dan's face on grey. It is available in a variety of colours. There's a variety of other t-shirt designs available, including ones for our Tabletop Tuesday events and ones for this here podcast and a few other things as well. So go and check that out. The link again is tpublic.com/stores/BRB.
All right, let's talk about news. Those are the games that we done played. Give us your opinions if you've been playing any of these, or if you've been looking forward to, or if you're indeed upgrading to PlayStation Plus different tiers. Let us know your opinions, what you think about these things. And you should also let us know your opinions about the news, because would you believe it, there have been rumblings for a good couple of months about a Nintendo Direct coming this year, a special full Nintendo Direct. 2 weeks ago, I got rumblings that it was going to be next week. Then last week, I got one that it was going to be this week, but it was going to be on the Wednesday, not the Tuesday. We got news that finally it was on the Tuesday, and it wasn't a full Nintendo Direct. It was a Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase, which kind of lets you know, hey, no Nintendo studios are putting our games on there. Yeah, we've got what it tells me is we've got contractual obligations to different companies of stuff that is coming to the Switch that we have promised them are going to be on Nintendo Directs. However, we can't show anything off yet.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime is still in the works.
Yeah.
Bayonetta's still not ready to show beyond what we've seen. So we better put together a partner showcase.
To be fair, there's usually one around the time of E3, though, isn't there? There's usually a Nintendo Direct a couple of weeks ago from what has been this year.
Yeah, there's usually a main one at E3. So this is meant to be the big one, but it was a partner showcase. So I think they just need more time to work on things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought, all things considering, I think there's something for everyone in this Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Direct.
I saw a lot of people saying it was an excellent Nintendo Direct, or it was brilliant, or that this was one of the best ever. And for me, not quite, but I can see why other people would think that.
No, I totally get that. I watched it and thought, do you know what? There's literally something for everyone. That might literally be one game, but I thought there is something for everyone, whatever your kind of tastes are. In this Direct, and yeah, for Nintendo fans, for Switch owners, if you're a Xbox player that only plays FIFA, then there's going to be nothing here for you. But if you're the right audience to be watching a Nintendo Direct, then there's going to be something here for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was something that you wanted to look at specifically, Tim, out of what was there.
I mean, the main thing for me is something that you've highlighted already, and that, well, I say highlighted, I don't mean that you've spoken about it on the show that we are recording here now, but I mean highlighted on our actual
Literally
agenda.
highlighted.
Literally highlighted. And that was one of the main things of the showcase. And confusingly, it then got its own showcase shortly afterwards as well. But that is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Yes. Probably, I mean, arguably, because I've seen people argue, the biggest game that was on the showcase. And the big news is that there is a release date finally. It's coming out on the 20th of October. I would say arguably the bigger news.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, I'd say the big news about the game is that they've kind of removed the grid, kept the barrier, and you kind of free roam move until you've decided what move you're going to take in that game, which arguably you could kind of do before. You'd pick the route in a grid kind of way, and then when you were ready to make your move, then you did it. But it's similar to that, but it's more free reign, and it looks a bit more fluid and natural to how that game
Rid of
could
the grid.
be played. Yeah. And also Bowser's available on your team, which is infinitely better. I hope there is a Bowser Rabbid. Yes.
There's a Bowser with a bazooka. So, that's it. I'm in. Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of...
There better be a Bowser Rabbid.
Yeah, well, you'd hope so, because there's mainly, Bowser's are the other characters. But they seem to be introducing a couple of which they talked about, the new character Edge and another character who I can't remember the name of, or I'm not sure they've actually released the name of, but they seem to be introducing more Rabbid characters that weren't just Rabbid versions of Mario things, and I thought that was a bit weird, because I thought the whole point was it was a mashup of the two universes, and that's where a lot of the fun came from, like the Rabbid Luigi, and like there was a lot of humor behind that, and I think that's missing from those new characters a little bit. Like, I'm not going to, I'll reserve judgment until I see it in situ in the game a little bit. I won't sort of jump on them for doing that. But at the same time, as you say, I hope there are still Rabbid versions of the other characters, because a Rabbid Bowser is going to be funny.
Yeah. I mean, the standout kind of character in the original, and I haven't finished the original. I got to the, Pavarotti singing Ghost. And
oh, yeah, that was tough.
Got stuck. Yeah, I need to finish. I mean, I think I'll reinstall it, and if I can beat, because I have the DLC as well. It all came in a single package.
I didn't buy the DLC.
The Donkey Kong stuff. Yeah, it all came together. I think if I can get through the game and the DLC in time for the new version, the second game, then I'll pick up the second game. If not, then I'll probably leave it be. But because I really like the game and I like those characters and stuff, and the standout character for me was the Rabbid Peach, where a Rabbid is mixed with Peach, but isn't acting like Peach. It's like essentially the American sense of a Valley Girl. The blonde hair, kind of bimbo-ish, taking selfies all the time. And now there's a Rabbid Rosalina, and I want to see kind of if they butt heads or not. I want to see how that works out.
I mean, it was a good human game that kind of played very much in the kind of XCOM mold of turn-based strategy stuff. So that puts it thoroughly in my wheelhouse. It was a good example of this that did a few things differently previously. And they seem to be taking away the one other big change in gameplay wise is that they seem to be concentrating on like different weapons for different characters. Whereas before you had there were unique weapons, but you could like upgrade them, and I'm not sure if that's going to be the same this time or not. They didn't sort of make that clear.
They were different looking,
upgradable.
But they had a lot of the same properties. Like you had you'd have two characters that used like a shotgun type. You had two characters that used like a machine gun type. You know, that kind of stuff. Two characters that use mines.
Yeah, and this looks like they've all got very different weapons. Like it seemed like Mario had double blasters and everyone else had I think Luigi had a bow and stuff. So yeah. But as I said, definitely looking forward to it. This was definitely the highlight of the show. And even though it was a direct partner showcase thing or whatever, like it was a way to sneak Mario into proceedings basically. So I think that made it overall feel a bit more like it was a bigger Nintendo-y event because it still had Mario being shown in it, basically.
Yeah. I'm going to go install Mario plus Rabbids after this.
I advise it.
I'll get back to that and see how I do. I would say, so the other big headline that I've been seeing doing the rounds, a lot of people have been excited about this. I don't get it because I'm just not a Persona fan.
Right. Yeah.
Don't know if I'll ever be a Persona. Although because I have Persona 5 because it came in the PlayStation Plus collection. I've been told not to play Persona 5 and instead play Persona 5 Royale because there's more stuff in there. However, I thought, well, if I just play 5, I can get a sense of whether I like those games. But then they announced that Persona 5 Royal is coming to Game Pass.
Right.
So maybe I try it on Game Pass and see if I like it. But it's never been appealing to me when you hear, like, it's a Japanese game that's anime influenced and set in a high school and they do classes and they go into dungeons in their mind. And it's like, you're kind of losing the audience of a nearly 40-year-old white man. I don't know if I can get in on this.
I bought 4 on something, and I keep on meaning to play
Persona 4 Golden on the Vita because I remember you playing it on the way to Edinburgh,
right?
And didn't look too enthralled by it, but I remember you playing it. At least I remember anime noises coming from your Vita.
I remember thinking it was okay. I could probably get into this, and then not getting into it, basically. But yeah, and possibly through lack of playing my Vita as much as anything else. But yeah, like it's a game series I've always meant to actually play a bit more, and I think I would probably like if I got into it, but I don't know, the graphical style puts me off a little bit, I think. And then I'm not as madly into my, and this is going to sound weird, but I'm not as madly into my very Japanese anime. Like I don't mind like the more Love, Death and Robots kind of presentation of like animated things, but full on anime I'm a bit over at the moment, basically.
It's the kind of either the westernized version of anime or anime pretending it's Western, or it's a lot of the time Korean studio making sort of an anime inspired property that I tend to go for rather than straight up anime. And unfortunately, like, and I know Persona has existed for a very long time, and it is the sort of game that would have really appealed to me when I was 13. So I discovered it way too late in life, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's...
But I know a lot of people love Persona. I know it's a huge, huge game. It's a massive hit. And a lot of people on the Switch have been waiting for Persona 5 to be ported over, then Royal. And, you know, they got the spin-off before they actually got the game.
A lot of people were really excited about this on Twitter and stuff. So, yeah, I think, it pleased a lot of people.
Yeah, I saw Wood go absolutely crazy on YouTube. Persona 5 Royal coming to the Switch October 21st. Also, Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable.
At some point.
So that's the Vita and the PSP versions of the games that are also coming to Switch. Some point. We don't know when.
That's odd. They usually do that the other way round, no? Like, it would usually be 3, 4, and then 5. But
yeah, you'd want to build up to it. But I kind of get it. It's more... That's the one that people have been harping on about. So give them what they want and
give
then
them that as soon as
let them
possible.
follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this point, if you're a massive fan and you buy these day one, then you've bought them on the systems that are available. At this point, people just want it on the Switch. So give them the thing that they're craving for the most and then follow the others through. It's not going to affect sales, I don't think, by releasing them out of order. I kind of, because I'm a sadistic git, I kind of want these to turn out to be cloud games.
Okay.
Just because they did it to Kingdom Hearts. Okay. Do it to Persona. It'll be funny to me.
I don't think there's as much need
really
with
not a nice
this,
person.
though. Like, I don't think it's as graphically demanding.
I know, but wouldn't it be funny?
Yes.
Put it on the Switch. Put it on the Switch. It's on the Switch on cloud.
Talking of
you see what it's like.
Japanese RPG style games. I quite like the look of Live a Live. I'm keeping an eye on that, basically. I'm glad there's a demo coming because I'm not certain. But
there is a demo July 22nd. We don't know when the actual game is out yet. But yeah, that's a remake of a game that never came out in the UK.
Yes. And
as far as I understand.
But it's interesting. It's got different time periods going on. They did say the demo gives you various different time periods to play around with. So it sounds like you'll get an idea of how that comes together. So I'm curious to pick up the demo when it comes out July 22nd on the Switch and possibly give that a try. So, yep. I'm curious about that.
There are two games that I wanted to make mention of just purely because of their art styles, and that are Blank and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which aren't coming out until 2023. Nice. Yes. So Blank had that black and white style where it looks like a kind of ink sketching put into a 3D environment. I really like that. More so, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, it has this kind of mashup where it looks like the world's most fun Wii game made by Swery or Suda, you know? And
it looked a bit crazy.
That kind of... Yeah, it's that kind of style thrown into a game, and I went, "Oh, that looks really cool. When's that out next year?" Okay, and then I looked into it. It's a murder mystery. It's like I don't know if I'm going to be into this, but I really like the style, so I'll probably be picking that up down the road. Super Bomberman R, which they took offline, the online for that game which is mad because this game launched with the Switch. It's not that old.
Yeah,
what, 5 years?
And this didn't look very different to the old one, though, like the new one.
No. But they took it offline, and which is weird because the majority of Super Bomberman R, I remember when that game released, not a lot of people were very favourable about the game on the Switch, but it's since come out on different platforms. And over time, it has gained quite a big community of online players, very dedicated online players.
Okay, kind of makes sense.
And then they went, we're going to shut that down because there's going to be a Super Bomberman in the future with online support. And it was literally the next month they went, it's R2 coming next year.
Yeah, that's really weird, isn't it?
Could you not have waited?
Just give them a year or just upgrade the previous game because it doesn't look like you're doing much differently to... just for the record, I was a massive Bomberman fan back in the day. Like, played quite a lot of it on the SNES. I would say, like, it was
I used to love it.
Probably the most played game behind Street Fighter and Mario Kart. And they were head and shoulders above. Maybe Turtles as well, possibly. But it was like right up there with one of the games that, you know, we'd go to outside of the big 2 or 3 that we'd be playing. And but it was also a really good multiplayer game as well. But multipass. But I don't know. Like when the one came out prior to launch, I was quite excited, and then when reviews came and it was doing all the things wrong that I didn't want it to do, that was more of a problem possibly, but hey. And
then when it came to PS Plus, I was like, finally, I can play this game without paying for it. And technically I paid for it. Right? And then gave it a go and went, a bit slow.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's got quite the following and it's coming out as a sequel, but I can't get my head around going, we're going to just cancel the online and then leave you without for, I don't know, 6 months to a year. Rather than going...
Yes, that's a dodgy decision.
Okay, why don't you just announce and go, look, we're not doing any more support. Like, support for this game is done. We're working on a sequel. And then when you announce the sequel, go, online support for R will continue until a month after 2 releases or a week after 2 releases. Just give that level of fan support. How hard is it to keep a server open? Not hard.
Exactly, no. One other game I'll mention just quickly, more as an ode to a previous host. rail grade. So that's one for Mr. John Brady, previously of
Brady.
BRB UK. We used to take the mickey out of him all the time for in train games.
He loves a train game.
I don't know if it's just the fact that I've been playing and still enjoying a lot of mini motorways. I've been working my way through the challenges on that. I haven't particularly mentioned that on the show, but I've continued to play that since I reviewed that a few weeks ago. I really like that game. But yeah, Railgrade actually appealed to me a little bit as well. And I was like, no, not buying a train game. After all the staking I did of John, I'm not sure I can do that. But I might actually do that. So we'll see.
No, it's I can't bring. I've tried train games, and other than London Underground Simulator, which kind of me and a mate got into for a laugh, I don't really get into the train games. I don't know. Launching the August the 26th, the pack is back. Pac-Man World Repack, which I thought
not like this
was the
not like this.
No, I thought this was the re-release of the Pack is Back cartoon thing that we've made fun of before. No, I didn't realize this is a game that came out on the PlayStation, which I had a demo of and never played because I was like, this doesn't look like Pac-Man. This looks weird. But they tried to turn Pac-Man into a 3D mascot platformer, which they've done a couple of times now.
Yes, because
I think this was
they did one back
the first
on the
or second time.
Atari ST Amiga days as well, basically. And I played that. I completed that, I think. But anyway.
I remember this game. I don't remember it ever launching. I just remember it in a demo state, and now they're doing a remake, a repack of it, and
why?
I'm kind of interested. I don't know why, but I am. Disney Dreamlight Valley, September the 6th for early access, which I think is possibly the first Nintendo Switch early access game. This one popped up. This has been previously announced. So it's not a new announcement. It's just the announcement of the early access. If you like Animal Crossing, which a lot of people I know are really into, this is basically Animal Crossing set in the world of Disney. All your neighbors are different Disney characters and Pixar characters and Disney animated characters. So for that, I think that's really interesting. Probably not something I play, but if you're into Animal Crossing and or Disney, then maybe this is one for you to check out. It looks cute.
Who plays the part of what's it? Who does Mickey Mouse give you a mortgage? Is what I'm wondering. Is that how this works?
No, I think it would be Maui from Moana.
Moana.
I think he beat you up. He looks like he could.
I mean, yeah.
I know he's in the game.
I mean, I wouldn't want to
beat you up with his big hook.
I wouldn't want to piss off Donald Duck.
He's the
either.
Rock.
I wouldn't want an angry Donald Duck coming at me either. That's all I'm saying.
Angry Duck with no trousers on coming at you.
Yeah, that's not something you want.
No, nor that corkscrew. Harvestella. This is, as best as I can explain it, this is Stardew Valley of Fantasy, and I am down for this. It's a weird... It's Squeenix. So it has to look like Final Fantasy by law.
Right.
This is a weird farming game that involves turn-based combat. And I am down for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks very strange. Kind of like the look of it. Have you ever been to a Harvestella before, Coleman?
Yeah, they've got the salad bar.
Yeah. Corn on
Get
the
some
cob.
dried onions on top, a bit of Thousand Island sauce. Coleman loves a Harvestella.
Literally the worst food in the world I've tried. But anyway.
Oh, I still love a Harvestella. And a Beefeatella.
A Beefeatella.
Big fan. Beefeatella. Love it. Anywho, and the real highlight of this here Nintendo Direct, I think, in my personal opinion, Return of Monkey Island. We knew it was coming. We saw the little announcement trailer that came beforehand. Now we've seen some actual gameplay. I will admit, I'm not overly keen on the art style they've gone with. However, it's not affecting me to the point where I'm going to go and bully the developers of the game.
Such idiots.
I love Monkey Island. Monkey Island 2 is my favourite game of all time, LeChuck's Revenge. I hated the art style of 3 so much that I never played it as a child. Didn't play it until I was about 23. I still have yet to play 4. Or the Telltale games, but I've downloaded them all in anticipation for this, so I will play through them at some point. But, those games, I finally did play through 3, and it is a good game, even though I didn't like the art style, even though I didn't like the voiceovers and all that kind of stuff. I preferred it as my childhood. However, the original voice cast that they brought in from 3 onwards and for the remakes and stuff, they have been brought back. I'm sure the art style will grow on me. I'm just excited to have more Monkey Island thrown in there because it looks really, really cool. And the big news is it's coming this year at some point, we know. We don't know exactly when. However, it's going to be a limited time console exclusive. So I'm assuming launching the same time as PC, but it's coming to Nintendo Switch, and then it will come to the other consoles later down the line. However, unless there's touchscreen controls for point and click, it will probably be a PC purchase for me, I think, just for the mouse and keyboard.
I would have thought you'd have gone with the Switch just for the portability factor, but
there is that. And if they have touchscreen controls in place of point and click, great. It's just that I hate playing point and clicks with analog sticks.
Right, fair enough. Okay, I guess there's no point to a point and click if you can't point and click.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Very quickly mentioned that Portal Companion is coming out, which I assume is the first 2 Portal games. They didn't state that, but I would imagine that's the case. I love both of those games, and I can see how they fit on the Switch. I'm just not sure I can be bothered to buy them again, to play them again when I've already got them.
I will fully admit it's Portal. So it's Portal 1 and 2. I don't know if that's Portal or Portal Still Alive, which is Portal but with extra levels added in. But it's like £14 something, and I have been very tempted to pick that up, and I keep loading up going, I will buy it, I won't buy it, I will, but I won't buy it. So I love those games, and I think because I don't have a Steam Deck, because I don't have money to burn or a Steam Deck reservation, I think playing the novelty of playing those portably
could be quite nice.
It's very intriguing to me. It's an intriguing dragon to chase. But yes. Right, I'm going to skip over the last 2 bits, Tim. That is all we have time for in regards to the news this week. We did have more, but we did run over long in the games that we've been playing. And can you blame us? They are the games that we've been playing. We're excited to talk about Naraka, Bladepoint, Returnal, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Because why wouldn't you? They're all great games that you should go play yourself. And if you have
Chorus, which I've been playing on Xbox Series S and on Game Pass, and
that game is basic.
I really like that game. We might have an argument about that in a future week, but Chorus I really like. I think that's really good.
I'm glad you like it. It reminded me of many PS1 demos that I played and went, oh, this looks cool, and then would play it and go, this is very, very, very toned down. G-Police and all that kind of stuff. Reminds me of G-Police, but not in the first person.
Yeah, it kind of, not quite AAA quality, but I still, nevertheless, a game I've been enjoying quite a lot. But anyway, we'll hopefully save that for a future week, because it's been out for a few weeks now anyway. But Chorus, play at some point if you like the space sim shooters. And anyway, go from there.
Right.
This week's podcast is also brought to you by Tabletop Tuesday, our tabletop event where you can win a game just by playing it. We have a different feature game every week usually. At the moment, while we're just getting up and running, that may be slightly less frequent, but we'll have some other prizes to give away on other weeks where we don't have a feature game. But the weeks we do have a feature game, you just come along on a Tuesday to the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington. You can win yourself a game just by playing it. We bounce around between deep strategic board games one week and silly party games the next. There's a variety of games available to play at the Loading Bar all the time. We're there on a Tuesday to help you find a group of people to play with and to find some like-minded people that might want to play a game that some of your friends don't, basically. Come along, you can see myself or another host, Chris, that will also be there to help kind of run games and run the event. And there are more details on the top left-hand corner of Big Red Barrel. That's bigredbarrel.com, the website. And also on our meetup group, which has over 2,000 members. You can join the meetup group and get more details there every week, and there's a newsletter and stuff that goes out now as well. So you can sign up and get more details there. That's the Tabletop Tuesday event every Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington.
Apologies to do this just after you've heard an ad for Tabletop Tuesday, but we did an ad earlier for TeePublic, and it is the ad from last week. We've not made a new one just yet. However, there is a special offer at the moment for teepublic.com/stores/BRB, Tim.
Well, I can actually add more information to both adverts, and they're both good things as well. So let me do that very quickly. For Tabletop Tuesday, we are actually having a guest this week. He's coming along to show a game called Swatch. It's a really good game. I backed it myself on Kickstarter, so that should tell you that I liked it enough after playing it at a preview event, or it being previewed at an event. I played it and then backed it on Kickstarter. But it's a game about collecting colours and sets of colours. And sets of things to make colours. But yeah, it's a really good little set collection game, and we've got the designer of that coming along to show us this Tuesday. So come along and you can possibly win a copy just by trying it out, and also get taught the game by the person that made it, or possibly me. But yeah, so yeah, that should be a good one for Tuesday. And we had our first feature game last week, gave that away. That was good. Thanks a lot for people coming along. And yeah, Tabletop Tuesday is back up and running again in general. So this is good. To add some more information to our t-shirt ad as well, if you go to tpublic.com anytime between the 1st of July and the 4th of July, they have a 35% off sale for that time. So you can pick up fine things like this, like the Tabletop Tuesday t-shirt, or as we showed last week, you can own Dan's face.
Dan's face. Go get a mug with Dan's mug on that mug.
Mug on a mug. Mugception. Yeah.
We won't dwell on it because we've just put 2 ads out and we don't want to do more ads in the ads.
But the bit of information for both. So there you go.
Yes. Many people, they get in contact with us on the comment section of bigredbarrel.com. Also our Discord, which you can find a link to on bigredbarrel.com, but also in the show notes of this here episode. You can get hold of us on facebook.com/bigredbarrel. You can find us on Twitter at bigredbarrel, and you can find us on YouTube, which is Big Red Barrel TV. Really should see if I can switch that to Big Red Barrel so they all are in unison. Probably a good idea. Anyway, people do get in contact with us and they like to ask us questions in the form of saying, I have a question. And I wanted to give a quick highlight to Chugnuts, which I think this is aimed at Dan. But
right.
We'll give it a go.
Yep.
He says, I have a plethora of questions.
Oh, a plethora.
One.
It's a good
And
grouping.
the reason I wanted to is just because of the format. I wanted to ask this because of the format.
Yeah, this is good.
1. What was the most visceral experience you've ever had in a video game? Probably when I screamed at the finale of The Walking Dead Season 1 and threw my controller down and went, no! No, sorry, there was the one before. The episode before the finale.
Season 0?
You'll know when.
Okay. I think...
No, Season 1, Episode 4, I think.
Right, okay. I think for me, the best answer to this question, not necessarily the most accurate answer, but the best answer would be a point in Dead Space, or just Dead Space in general, just with space shooters on my mind and the fact that game was made by a company called Visceral. So
by Visceral.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes,
well
exactly.
Done. There was a point, I can't remember who it was, one of our friends on Twitter who is a writer of some form when is it acceptable? Is it acceptable to still use Visceral in video game critique?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, only if you're talking about the Dead Space developer. Yeah. Anyway, so that was number 1. Question B. What was the most visceral experience you've had with Coleman's soundboard? I liked last week when you guys both realised that there are no sound effects of me, because why would there be? I run the soundboard. I am my own soundboard. I say what do I say? Hi. That's about it.
Well, I don't know if it counts as visceral, but I don't like the fact that there were no sounds coming out of the soundboard last week, and you edited them in after post. And I said during that podcast that one of us was going to sound stupid, and it was me because you put those sounds in, not Dan because you didn't.
Sorry.
But anyway, right. But yeah.
Little peek behind the curtain. To use the soundboard, you have to set it to live and then you use it. So I could put it in preview and I can listen to things, make sure the volume's right before I start playing some music or something. It's for production purposes.
Right, okay.
So Dan set it up and then he didn't hit live.
Yeah.
So he was hearing the sounds, but you couldn't hear them and they weren't recorded. So I just kind of had to guess when he went, toilet flush, and then put a toilet flush in the sound post-production.
It was good. He was saying everything as he was doing it. You don't normally do that, so that was good at least. But
no, it was the best the soundboard has ever sounded.
But I think to answer the question, the most aurally visceral, and that's a difficult couple of words to say together. But the most aurally visceral is just hearing my own voice come out of the soundboard. Like, that's just, it never doesn't get a bit weird and creepy. Like, I mean, Dan says odd and creepy things, and it's weird when he's not here to hear his voice, but it's never not discerning to not hear, to hear my own voice and how, yeah. Obviously, you've recorded the weirdest things we've ever said in like nearly 500 episodes of a podcast. So that gives you plenty of ammunition.
Unfortunately, the soundboard went down like half an hour ago, and I'm not been able to pull any sounds up. Otherwise, I'd be just playing your voice over and over again.
I was wondering why
Question 7. Question 7. What was the most visceral experience you're expecting from Tim this year? Oh, that's easy. That's the November calendar shoot. Yeah. Everyone knows that. Mr. November.
I'm not sure that's visceral. Eviscerating.
I mean, I don't know. Ed sent me a photo once, and it was.
Okay.
Ed sent me a photo once of you guys when you were at E3.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you were poolside in your Budgie Smugglers. And he went, here's a photo of Tim poolside for Mr. November. And I went, no, I'm not using that. I'm never putting that on the internet.
That's not a... no.
Budgie Smugglers.
No.
That's what you did.
I didn't.
You was flexing.
I have not smuggled budgies. Not since I was like very young. And then there were no budgies
You went,
to
hey,
smuggle.
Peter Molyneux, check out my 2 tickets to the gun show.
Check out my toucan.
That was definitely things that happened.
No.
Yeah. You call your studio Toucan Studios. Check out the beak on this. Good. Let's have one from Ed. We've had these backed up for a while.
Okay,
he says, speaking of Ed, very random question. What is your favourite piece of DLC you can think of?
Horse armor.
Favourite bit of DLC is probably Undead Nightmare for Red Dead Redemption, just because it changed the whole game and turned it into this horrible nightmarescape, which I absolutely loved. If not that, I reckon Darth Vader and Soul Calibur, because I was jealous that if you had Soul Calibur on the Xbox, then you could play as Yoda, and if you had it on the PS3, then you could play as Darth Vader.
That was cool.
And I didn't have a PS3, I had a 360. So when I had Soul Calibur, I was very annoyed I couldn't play as Darth Vader. And then later on they went, hey, for like 10 quid, you can have Darth Vader. I don't like the price, but at least I can play as him.
Yeah. I mean, that's badly memorable DLC, though, in a way, no? Like, you again, that's in the horse armor category. I think maybe, like...
Yeah, probably.
Do you count DLC as something like Blood Dragon, where it was its own... separate game as well?
I count Expandalones. Yeah, totally.
Okay, so then possibly that. But yeah, not sure. I'm not sure I have a standout favourite that I'm like, yes, I am so glad I was able to give them extra money for that. Like I don't have a favourite microtransaction. You know what I mean?
I bought a parrot in Sea of Thieves called Little Red, and he is my favourite thing in that game. So, I don't know. Okay. Maybe he's up there too.
There you go. You brought me to the answer without me remembering, but the Sails of Hope from Sea of Thieves.
Charity DLC.
Yeah, because we bought that the money went to charity, and that was the thing we were doing for Geek Out for Gosh, and yeah, that was a good thing. So, yeah.
Good. Speaking of good things, that's probably all the time we have for recording this.
That's too much of a good thing already.
We're going to go.
Not a good thing.
Too much of a good thing, and it'll make you sick. It will rot your teeth out because of all the sweetness of ending this here podcast. I don't know what I'm talking about. This has been episode 497. I got it right at the end of BRB UK. Thank you very much for listening or watching if you're watching the YouTube version of this here podcast. We do enjoy you coming by and checking out all the things. Remember, you can find us once again, bigredbarrel.com. That is our website. That is where we post all our episodes. That is where you can find information about our socials and all the kind of stuff there. But you can find us directly on our socials. You can find us on our Discord. Again, link on bigredbarrel.com, links in the show notes. You can find us on facebook.com/bigredbarrel. You can find us on Twitter at Big Red Barrel. You can find us on YouTube, Big Red Barrel TV, and also links to everything that we've spoken about in this here episode. Probably a link to the Nintendo Direct video. Yeah, I tend to throw them all in the show notes. All the links that you probably need. When we talk about charities, I throw that in there. TeePublic, that's in there. It's all in there. Just look in the show notes. Scroll down. It's in your flipping phone. You're listening on your phone.
It's right
You're mostly
there.
listening on your phone. Scroll down.
You got a phone,
Just look at the description. If you wanted, I mean, they're chapters. They're chapters. They are. You can go, hey, I don't really care about Nintendo Direct. I want to skip straight to an advert about Tabletop Tuesday. You just hit that in the thing, and it will take you to it.
Chapter 3.
Yeah.
The one
a lot of work
where
goes
Coleman
into this behind the
talks
scenes.
about a battle royale game.
We should probably go. For this week, I have been Coleman.
I might have been Tim.
I've also been Chaos. Dan's not been here.
Mm-hmm.
For this episode, thank you very much for listening and watching. We will see you. Well, we won't. You'll see us. You'll hear us.
That's how it works.
However this works.
It's a one-way thing.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm paid to look pretty, not be smart. Anyway, this has been BRB UK. Thank you very much for listening, watching, listening, downloading, all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much. We will see you next. No, I did it again. God damn it. We will be available for you.
We won't see you next week.
Listen, yeah, we can't see anything. We're blind. We're blind to the audience. Thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, dear listeners, that's the way he says it.
Yes.
Until next time, dear listeners, a goodbye.
Also, Coleman, I'm glad you're well again and was able to be here, because otherwise it would just be me talking to people for an hour and a half. And no one wants that. No one.
The drugs wore off and I'm so bunged up now.
Oh.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
More a month. And then for just less than another £4, you can get premium.
Or, as I like to call it, it's PlayStation Plus minus PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Plus Plus. Well, I'm going to be confusingly calling it. So,